Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are so happy you're here. I'm Dr. Tom Wadsworth, Dean of the Idaho State University L.S. Skaggs College of Pharmacy, and let me begin by warmly welcoming our class of 2029. Tonight's an important night for them because we celebrate the initiation of these students. It is a ceremony which is a rite of passage symbolizing their transition from pharmacy student to student pharmacist. This may seem like a subtle change in words, but it marks a big step in responsibility and identity. And simply put, when you put on the white coat today, it conveys a powerful image to the public: authority, trust, and integrity, and even compassion. With this comes great responsibility, and the responsibility is earned and learned. And that is why you're here. So tonight you will don your white coat for the first time, and it will symbolize your pledge of excellence to your new ISU family. Some of us like to say family, but that's really nerdy with the PH. And to your loved ones who are here, and to all others whom you will become a professional healthcare team member. Before we get started, I want to take this opportunity to recognize a few special folks in our audiences. You're all special, but some deserve the spotlight tonight, and we're excited to share tonight's celebration with them. They've contributed significant time and resources to the College of Pharmacy, for which we are incredibly grateful. So please rise as I read your name, and remain standing until all names have been read, and then if I'd ask the audience to hold your applause until everyone has been acknowledged. First, we'd like to welcome Dr. Nikki Chopsky. She's the Bureau Chief of Health Professions of DOPL, serving as the Executive Officer for the Board of Pharmacy, the Board of Medicine, and a lot more than that. And she's also from the class of 1997. Dr. Jordan Millward, ISU representative of the Idaho Society of Health System Pharmacists, and she is from the class of 2019. We'd also like to thank Albertsons and Walgreens for their unwavering and longstanding support tonight, which has helped make this ceremony possible. And representing Walgreens this evening is Dr. Annalisa Sudenbach. Is she here today? Annalise? No? Okay. And she's the registered district manager. And lastly, and I know he's not here representing Albertsons, but we do have from the class of 2002, Dr. Mike McDevitt joining us, if you'll stand. We are now, and keep standing, so there's a lot of people here tonight that are VIPs. We also are proud to welcome back to the college tonight the College of Pharmacy alumni, many of whom will be coding students tonight. Dr. Lynn Archibald, class of 1974. Here he is. Dr. Alda Arnautovic, class of 2024. There she is. I've had to say that name before. Dr. Julie Brown, class of 2011. Dr. Jared Cox, class of 2019. Bengal Pharmacy specialist. Dr. Mandy Fry, class of 2021. Dr. Alicia Galleria, class of 2010. Dr. Stephen Hotram, class of 2014. Dr. Debbie Marchetti, class of 1999. Dr. Mike McDevitt, there he is, class of 2002. Dr. Lance Torngren, class of 2012. Dr. Dwight Wallace, class of 1992. Dr. Dean Wallentine, class of 1999. Robert Wheatley, class of 1972. There he is. Dr. Ashley Woods, class of 2023. And I also spotted with my own two eyes someone we should also recognize. He may not be alumni of the College of Pharmacy, but I would love to welcome tonight one of the most prestigious professors ever to come through the College of Pharmacy, Dr. Roger Hefflinger, who's here tonight with his daughter. And as he stands, you might see half the class go through PTSD from Dr. Hefflinger's exams and his rotations. And I must say, I myself, the only reason I can still draw the clotting cascade is because of the fear and trembling that I experienced at your hands, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate and support our new student pharmacists. Please welcome them with a round of applause. Next, I'd like to recognize our College of Pharmacy faculty and staff, and I think they're almost over here. Please rise. There they are. Look at that group. Isn't that fantastic? These are the people. These are the ones. So students, for the next 4 years, these are the students who will create adrenergic memory for you, just like Dr. Hefflinger did for me. But I encourage you today to watch them, model after them, follow their advice and their guidance. They know what you need. They've been over the mountain and they've come back for you. And I think this is the most we've had in a long time at a White Coat. So thank you very much for being here, faculty. And please, tonight, make sure you say hello to them and get to know them tonight. All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Nikki Chopsky. As I said before, Dr. Chopsky earned her PharmD, or Doctor of Pharmacy, from Idaho State University in 1997. In 2007, while working as a hospital pharmacist, she was appointed to the Idaho Board of Pharmacy, where she served for 12 years before being appointed as Executive Director in 2019 in her current role. Today, she serves as the Bureau Chief of Health Professions for the Idaho Division of Occupational and Professional Licenses, that's the IDOPL, where she also acts as the Executive Director for the Boards of Medicine, Nursing, and Pharmacy. And we are honored to have her here with us today. I'd also like to say that Dr. Chopsky and I go a ways back, and this is the person, when I was a second-year pharmacy student, who didn't fire me after I wrecked the delivery truck. It's an interesting story. Thank you, Dr. Chopsky.
Thank you, Dean Wadsworth, for inviting me to speak with the students. It is an honor to join you and mark such an important occasion. Let me start by welcoming the class of 2029 to the profession of pharmacy. I'm going to immediately echo words you just heard from the dean because they're important. This ceremony is a rite of passage that symbolizes the transition from pharmacy student to student pharmacist. While this may seem like subtle transposition in words, let me assure you it comes with major changes. Simply put, when you put on your white coats this evening, it conveys a powerful image to the public of trust, integrity, and ethics. With this comes responsibility. So my goal this evening is to challenge you to think broadly about your newfound role as a member of the pharmacy profession and the patients we serve. Specifically, I'd like to illustrate 3 major themes. First, times they are a-changin'. Second, together we must commit to advancing the future vision of pharmacy practice. And third, we must accept the responsibility of change. I'll elaborate. Times they are a-changin'. Any presentation about the future often starts with the past, and this one is no different. I'll start with a trip back in time to 1964 World's Fair in New York. Here we find a rotating theater audio animatronic stage show attraction that would eventually make its way to the proverbial happiest place on earth, Magic Kingdom. So with all due apologies to Walt Disney, I sometimes think of the pharmacy journey through the lens of the Carousel of Progress. For those of you who have not visited Disney's Tomorrowland, the basic premise of the Carousel of Progress is a ride with 6 scenes, each of which follows a family throughout the 20th century. As the ride revolves, the scenes reveal the progress and technological advances that come with time, invoking both nostalgia and futurism. So in my pharmacy Carousel of Progress, imagine scene 1, set around 1920, as the first 5 students from the new Idaho Technical Institute Division of Pharmacy graduate. Studies were based primarily in pharmacognosy. Just as I wonder, how hard could classes have been back then? There must not have been more than about a dozen drugs on the market. Imagine the second scene, a small town Idaho pharmacy in the 1950s, reminiscent of the famous Norman Rockwell painting where a bookish pharmacist compounds a product with his mortar and pestle, and the pharmacy is probably as known for its soda fountain as it is for its pharmacy services. In the interest of time, I'll skip ahead. Imagine scene 5, set in present day. The doctor of pharmacy is the entry-level degree for the profession. Compounding has taken a back seat to product dispensing, but direct patient care services are gaining traction. A private consultation room flanks the pharmacy where a pharmacist in her freshly pressed white coat administers a flu shot to a patient in need. Now imagine the carousel turning to the 6th and final scene. And by now, I'm sure you're all getting goosebumps. The scene is set in the future, the year we could call 20 tomorrow. Imagine what 20 tomorrow will look like, and importantly, what will it look like relative to today? Let's set the decade of the 2020s, as our measuring stick. Someday we'll all look back on this decade, these years now, and we'll say one of two things. Wow, pharmacy practice was so primitive. Or, wow, pharmacy practice, those were the good old days. Change is guaranteed to happen, but change can go in either direction, and not all change is progress. Take, for example, the blacksmith. In the 19th century, moms used to prod their kids into becoming blacksmiths. Horses will always need shoes. That was the conventional wisdom. This view didn't take into account the future trains, planes, and automobiles of the Industrial Revolution. However, I don't intend to scare you today as you think about 20 tomorrow. In fact, I have great news. If you want to know what the future of pharmacy will look like, I can tell you empirically, pharmacy will become whatever people like us, you and me, imagine. And its advancement will reflect the energy with which we engage. That brings me to my second point. Together, we must commit to advancing the future vision of pharmacy practice. Not long ago, National Pharmacy Associations met in a frigid hotel ballroom and worked to set a vision for the future of the practice of pharmacy. And they came up with a statement that reads something like, pharmacists will be the healthcare professionals responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes. Let me repeat that. Pharmacists will be the healthcare professionals responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes. Together, we must commit to advancing this vision for the future of pharmacy. Without such commitment, advancement simply will not occur. I want to share one quick story about the power of vision. Shortly after becoming president, John F. Kennedy challenged the nation to put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth within a decade. You all know how the story ends. However, you may not know the story of when President Kennedy toured the NASA facility for the first time in 1961. The president reportedly met a man mopping the floor in the hallway. The president stopped to chat with the man, shook his hand, and asked what he did at NASA. And the janitor proudly responded, "Sir, I'm helping put a man on the moon." This story illustrates the idea that everyone at NASA, regardless of position, was contributing in his or her own way towards the ultimate vision of the organization. The same thing must be true in pharmacy. Each and every one of us, we all have a role to play today and every day as a member of the pharmacy profession. As students today, you have unprecedented opportunities to be visible to patients. With practice rotations, community service events, and campus clubs, among others, you have opportunities on a daily basis to live and breathe this vision. Together and only together can we achieve the vision, and that brings me to my third and final point. We must accept the responsibility for change. There's a saying that there's two primary choices in life, to accept conditions as they exist or to accept the responsibility for changing them. The conditions as they exist are that of an approaching hurricane. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing, millions of patients remain uninsured, access to care remains difficult, not to mention the number of U.S. medical students entering primary care has dropped by more than 50% over the past decade. In fact, Idaho ranks 50th in physicians per capita. And we are in the midst of not only a nationwide opioid epidemic, but we're still recovering from a global pandemic. The healthcare system will be forced to change, and the profession of pharmacy will be forced to change as well. We as a profession must accept the responsibility for that change and in fact should lead that change. What role can pharmacy play? Well, one of our biggest assets is accessibility. 90% of all Americans live within 5 miles of a pharmacy, and we're open nights and weekends. You're already seeing the power of our accessibility in action. 1 in 4 adults have had a vaccination in a pharmacy in the past year. But vaccines are just the tip of the iceberg. Pharmacists today receive more training in medication therapies than any other health profession. We are the medication experts of the patient's healthcare team. Think about the possibilities when we combined our medication expertise with our accessibility to patients in the community. Let me give you an example. In Idaho, patients with flu-like illness can walk into a pharmacy at any hour without an appointment and receive an assessment from a pharmacist. And if the patient has a clinical presentation consistent with the flu and no alarming symptoms, the pharmacist can provide a rapid point-of-care test. If the patient tests positive for flu, the pharmacist can use his or her clinical judgment to independently prescribe the appropriate antiviral in the pharmacy that day. Imagine the patient care benefits. Research has shown this model improves access to care. 40% of the tests are done after physician hours, and 35% of the patients don't have a primary care physician established. Care improves too. Studies show pharmacists follow clinical guidelines and best practices more closely than other professions. But take this model and strip it down. Remove the word influenza. The basic concept of patient assessment with objective tests that guide decision-making and initiation or modification of medication regimens by specially trained pharmacists, that's a recipe for improving healthcare outcomes for a whole host of conditions, both acute and chronic. You may be wondering how a care model like this would be possible. It's not a model that most people envision pharmacists participating in. It all starts with imagination and innovation from a handful of pharmacy leaders and state laws that empower pharmacists to provide care. Let's take a moment and imagine the possibilities for your future practice. Imagine practicing pharmacy in a state where pharmacists can independently prescribe medication. Imagine practicing in a state where pharmacists can administer any medication. Imagine practicing in a state where pharmacists can order and interpret lab tests. Imagine practicing in a state where pharmacists can adapt prescriptions. Imagine practicing in a state where pharmacists have independent practice authority. And imagine practicing in a state that fully leverages the talents of pharmacy technicians. In the famous words of John Lennon's Imagine, it isn't hard to do. Why? Because you live in Idaho and you chose Idaho State University's College of Pharmacy as the foundation for your pharmacy journey. Idaho has developed a national reputation, not just for potatoes, not just for the oldest enclosed stadium on a college campus, but as the state that has the most advanced pharmacy practice laws in the United States of America. Idaho has become a leader in the pharmacy profession, as it's one of the few states that truly allow pharmacists to practice at the top of their education and training and not be restricted by what their license allows. So, I ask, how will you practice? How do you want to practice? How will you work to advance the practice for the benefit of your patients? You will have an unprecedented opportunity to lead pharmacy practice change for the betterment of patient care and public health, and I encourage you to seize the opportunity the faculty provides each and every time you put on your white coat as a student and as a pharmacist. Given the challenges and opportunities facing pharmacy today, I will leave you with a challenge. Don't just study pharmacy. Let's work together to change the entire practice of pharmacy for the patients we serve. Will you join me? Congratulations, and go Bengals.
Thank you, Dr. Chopsky. I'd now like to welcome Dr. Jordan Millward to the stage. Dr. Millward is a clinical pharmacy specialist and assistant professor here at Idaho State University. She, as we said before, is an alum of our program, and she also completed her postgraduate year 1 and year 2 residency here at the pharmacotherapy residency. She is board certified in pharmacotherapy and certified in diabetes care and education. Dr. Millward works with the Patient Quality Alliance here in Pocatello, which focuses on medication management. She also focuses on population health, diabetes education, and primary care. And here at Idaho State University, she coordinates the endocrine module, which includes most of those subjects. She also serves as a primary care practice section leader for the Center for Advancing Pharmacy Practice and Research Excellence. Dr. Millward takes students on rotations. Many of you will do rotations with her. Her primary practice site is right here in Pocatello. I'd like to welcome Dr. Millward, who's representing the Idaho State Health System Association of Health System Pharmacists. Dr. Millward.
Hello, everyone. Can't really see you, it's very bright. Thank you, Dean Wadsworth and the ISU College of Pharmacy for inviting me to speak tonight on behalf of the Idaho Society of Health System Pharmacy, ISHP. First, to the family members and friends in the audience, thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement in helping these future pharmacists reach this milestone. Your continued support will be absolutely vital to their success. And to the class of 2029, congratulations. As the introduction mentioned, I'm currently the ISU faculty representative for ISHP. So this evening, I wanted to share some brief thoughts on the importance of becoming involved in professional pharmacy organizations. These organizations exist to serve their members, their professional interests and goals, and of course, our profession as a whole. The pharmacy world has a lot of different professional organizations, each with its own acronym. There's ISHP, ISPA, ASHP, ACCP, APHA, and the list goes on. But tonight I'm not here to tell you which one to join or even to promote one over the other. I'm simply here to encourage you to get involved in your profession. By doing so, you can help advocate for and expand the pharmacist's role on a healthcare team, transform and grow the practice of pharmacy, and of course, ultimately drive better care for our patients and for the communities that you'll be working in. Membership in professional organizations comes with a wide range of both personal and professional benefits. Networking experiences can help you build friendships and professional connections, as well as discover potential career opportunities. Many organizations offer practical tools and educational resources you can take advantage of. Advocacy and leadership opportunities will present themselves to you. And professional organizations provide a platform for you to showcase your talents, as well as the impacts and innovations that you will have on the pharmacy profession. Much of what professional associations achieve is due to the collective effort of their members, bringing together like-minded individuals who can make a difference that's greater than what one person would be able to achieve alone. As Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. By getting involved, you contribute to this greater whole. So wherever your interests lie, whether you know that yet or not, there will be an organization out there for you. An organization that offers something unique, serves a purpose, connects you to a cause, something that ignites you. Seek out the organizations whose vision, mission, and values resonate with you. And if you don't know where to start, reach out to your faculty members, your advisors, your mentors, your upperclassmen. Personally speaking, I wouldn't be where I am today with the privilege of speaking to you right now had I not gone beyond the classroom, gotten involved in my profession, and said yes to opportunities that came my way. So in closing, I want to congratulate you again, wish you luck on the rest of your journey, and encourage you to use your voice, get involved, and be excited to be a part of this great profession. I can't wait to see where we all go together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Millward. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage, and I'm handing this portion over to Dr. Elaine Wien. She's the Associate Professor here at Idaho State University, College of Pharmacy. She will serve as our Master of Ceremonies this evening for the coding of the incoming P1s. Dr. Wien.
Thank you, Dr. Wadsworth. First year students, The white coat ceremony provides a mechanism by which values that are key to our profession can be openly articulated and carefully considered in the company of your peers, parents, and families, as well as your new College of Pharmacy faculty and staff, which is your Pharmally. Tonight, you will take your first step into the profession of pharmacy. You will don the white coat as a symbol of that step and recite the pharmacist code of ethics. You will be expected to follow that code for your time here with us as a student, and more importantly, the rest of your professional life. It is important to realize that once you become a pharmacist, you remain a member of this profession. Now is the time you have all been waiting for, the presentation of your white coat. Audience members, have your cameras ready. So the first 18 students will be coded by the alumni and pharmacy professionals acknowledged earlier by Dr. Wadsworth. The remaining students will be coded by our College of Pharmacy faculty, Dr. Jen Adams, Dr. Kevin Cleveland, Dr. Jesse Jones, Dr. Christopher Nicolette, and Dr. Chris Owens. At this time, we ask that the faculty coding students please join us behind the stage. All right, students, so each row should move toward the stage as directed. And when your name is called, proceed to the stage and stand on the X. I don't know if I see an X, actually. Come over here. Okay, there we go. All right, so come on stage, stand on the X, and turn to face the audience, and you will be coded. After being coded, you may take your place on the risers. And once all students have been coded, you will recite the Pharmacist Code of Ethics as a class. All right, those who are coding a student may join them on stage and return to your seat once you have finished. All right, are we ready? Here we go. All right, our first student is Adara Ash, coded by the relative Dr. Lynn Archibald. Tristan Hauge, coded by their uncle, Dr. Joseph Hauge. Abigail Hefflinger, coded by their father, Dr. Roger Hefflinger. Keaton Higgins, coded by their mother-in-law, Dr. Mandy Fry. Michaela Hershey, coded by their mentor, Dr. Cassidy McKay. Caitlin Farnsworth, coded by their aunt, Dr. Julie Brown. Bamer Karamuyek, coded by their friend, Dr. Alda Arnautovic. Ashley Liu, coded by their mother, Dr. Connie Liu. Tara Marston, coded by their mentor, Dr. Michael McDevitt. Addison Neild, coded by their aunt, Dr. Alicia Galleria. Jay Ruiz, coded by their mentor, Dr. Lance Torngren. Jordan Scott, coded by their uncle, Dr. Robert Wheatley. Martin Shredder is coded by their mentor, Dr. Jared Cox. Rowan Tickner Rapecki, coded by their mentor, Dr. Stephen Hotram. Dexton Wallace, coded by their father, Dr. Dwight Wallace. Madeline Wallentine, coded by their father, Dr. Dean Wallentine. Ivy Ware, coded by their mentor, Dr. Ashley Woods. Braden White, coded by their aunt, Dr. Debbie Marchetti. Ali Al-Nasarari. Tanya Alani. Larissa Barros. Warren B. Susan Bracu. Ethan Bidwell. Carly Coles. Ethan Coy. Blaney Cummings. Alexander Dash. Brad Finley. Hope Foot. Gracie Geringer. Sabrina Howe. Eric Shea. Joseph Jenkins. Kayla Kuntz. Kaylee Logan. I don't think she's with us right now. So Francisco Maria. Ender McAllister. Kylie Nelson. Alyssa Patterson. Ashley Quigg. Carlos Quiroz. Tanner Schuster. Maya Shadley. Taylor Stoddard. Elizabeth Turner. Ashley Webster. Hunter Young. Wow, what an impressive group of student pharmacists. You all look amazing. All right, I now invite our 2025-2026 Student Senate Presidents, Rachel Kina and Nicole Windsor, and our PPSA President, Brittany Satika, to the stage in leading our Pharmacist Code of Ethics.
Thank you, Dr. Wing. Class of 2029, please pull the card from the pocket of your white coat with the Pharmacist Code of Ethics printed on one side. Audience members, you may follow along as the Code of Ethics is printed on the back of your program.
Before we begin, I will read the preamble to the Pharmacist Code of Ethics aloud. Pharmacists are health professionals who assist individuals in making the best use of medications. This code, prepared and supported by pharmacists, is intended to state publicly the principles that form the fundamental basis of the roles and responsibilities of pharmacists. These principles, based on moral obligations and virtues, are established to guide pharmacists in relationships with patients, health professionals, and society.
Class of 2029, please recite the Code of Ethics with us. We will recite only the 8 main headings at this time, but please be sure to read and always abide by the full Code of Ethics from this point forward.
A pharmacist respects the covenantal relationship between the patient and pharmacist. A pharmacist promotes the good of every patient in a caring, compassionate, and confidential manner. A pharmacist respects the autonomy and dignity of each patient. A pharmacist acts with honesty and integrity in professional relationships.
A pharmacist maintains professional competence. A pharmacist respects the values and abilities of colleagues and other health professionals. A pharmacist serves individual, community, and societal needs. A pharmacist seeks justice in the distribution of health resources.
You guys were so loud, you didn't even need us. You guys are so big. Thank you so much, and we now welcome Dr. Wing back to the podium.
Thank you very much, Senate and PPSA presidents. First-year students, congratulations to you. Let me be the first to welcome you to the profession of pharmacy and acknowledge the important role upon which you have just pledged and will now embark. Let's clap for them again. The Pharmacist Code of Ethics is on display in each campus's student lounge as a reminder of the important pledge you have just taken. I now turn the time over to Dr. Wadsworth for closing remarks. Students, please remain standing for a couple more minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wing. So students, on behalf of the entire faculty and staff at Idaho State University, congratulations. We've been clapping. We should clap again. I gotta say, it's a dang good looking group. Really good looking. The next time we will gather family and friends like this, the next time, 4 years from now, and we'll be removing that word student from this title, and you will be pharmacists, and you will be changed. And I'm reminded that when you look in the faces of these young health professionals who are developing, you see in the present the past, and when I look over at Dr. Hefflinger and I see his daughter there, the past where she's standing on his shoulders, I see the present, the beaming excitement to learn, and I see the future. And never has there been a time when society needs these pharmacists, these medication experts. Why? As it seems to me that we are in what will be known, come to be known as the age of influence, ushered in by the age of information, where the age of influence ushered in by the age of information, seemingly where you can have information everywhere and nowhere at the same time. In fact, you can see me scrolling through what should be good information. The fabulous and the fictitious are often on the same footing as the true and self-evident, with no moral authority to discriminate or sort. It used to be that if you wanted to do a book report on Egyptians, you could go to the library. That's where they have books. Books are things that we used to carry around and open. They had paper. Paper's made from wood. See these guys. But you go to a librarian, and the librarian say, hey, if you want to you want to learn about Egypt and its history, the nonfiction is over here. And if you want to learn about Egyptian aliens who came down and made pancakes for early man, that's over here. We call that fiction. Where is that moral authority? It's gone. Norman Brown of the 20th century philosopher observed, the man of knowledge in our time is bowed down under a burden that we never imagined, the overproduction of information that cannot be consumed. And here we are in the opening decades of the 21st century, choking on that information. One of the reasons information is in a state of useless overproduction is that it's strewn all over the place, spoken in 1,000 competitive voices and on platforms, and it's insignificant fragments just lying around with the truth begging to be observed. There is no throbbing vital center of authority to help you sort that out. Now we have AI, and you're not even sure if they're hallucinating or not. So here we are in that age, and I'm reminded of Sir Thomas More from A Man of All Seasons when he said, "Some men think the earth is round, others think it's flat. It is a matter of capable question, but if it is flat, will the king's command make it round? And if it is round, will the king's command make it flat? No, it will not. I will not betray my conscience. Truth is timeless. Facts do not change. And as Alexander Hamilton said, unfortunately, a false claim repeated enough, often enough, will cause people to believe it has truth, no matter how false the claim or how honorable the person." And so here we find ourselves in the age of influence, information that is laced with influence. And I'm looking at the solution to cut away that influence and get to the truth for people when they need it now more than ever. Your truth will overcome the pseudosciences that are now predominant, and you will apply what you now know to help people sort out what is real, what is true, and it will be needed more than ever. So now here you stand on the edge of your career, and we can look to the words of Brutus on the eve of battle, as quoted from the famed Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Faculty know I quote this all the time. It's on our strategic plan. "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures. Today feels as if for you, on such a full sea, you now are afloat, and the tide is in, and the current is in your favor. Put your boats out and venture. Recognize this moment that you have created for yourself. Seize the opportunity. Take this momentum and venture to be the professional that society needs you to be. Use this education to change lives and to change the lives of those you serve. Congratulations, class of 2029. So this concludes our ceremony, and we'd like to invite you to join us for the reception out in the rotunda. We look forward to greeting and visiting with each of you. Make sure you meet our esteemed faculty and staff who are here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. We've got plenty of lighting for cameras and photos. Students, if you just stay up here briefly for a class photo, we have our photographer down here. Once the session is over, you're welcome to come in and join us at the rotunda. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.